On February 11th, 2012, Whitney Houston, one of the greatest singers in history, had been found dead in a hotel room in Beverly Hills, California. She was just 48 years old. For decades, Whitney's voice had captivated millions. She sold over 200 million records worldwide, starred in blockbuster films, and became one of the most successful female artists of all time. This is the story of Whitney Houston. Whitney Elizabeth Houston was born on August 9, 1963, in Newark, New Jersey. Music surrounded her from the very beginning. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a successful gospel singer. Her cousin was legendary singer Dionne Warwick. Even soul icon Aretha Franklin was considered family. But despite being surrounded by famous musicians, Whitney's family emphasized discipline, faith, and hard work. She began singing in church as a child. Those who heard her perform quickly realized she possessed a rare gift. By her teenage years, it was already clear that Whitney Houston was destined for greatness. Before becoming a singer, Whitney worked as a fashion model. Her striking appearance landed her magazine covers and advertising campaigns, yet music remained her true passion. In the early 1980s, she began recording demos and performing alongside her mother. Record executives immediately took notice. Unlike many young artists, Whitney didn't need years of development. The talent was obvious. In 1983, music executive Clive Davis signed Whitney to Arista Records. For nearly 2 years, Whitney carefully prepared her debut album. Everyone involved understood they were working with someone special. What nobody knew was that she was about to change the music industry forever. In 1985, Whitney released her debut album, Whitney Houston. The response was extraordinary. Songs like Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and Greatest Love of All became massive hits. Audiences were mesmerized. Critics praised her technical perfection and emotional delivery. The album became one of the best-selling debut albums by a female artist in history, but Whitney was only getting started. In 1987, she released her second album, Whitney. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. Whitney Houston was no longer a rising star. She was a global phenomenon. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, Whitney dominated the music world. Hit after hit climbed the charts. Concerts sold out across the globe. Award shows became routine. Then came one of the most iconic performances in American history. In 1991, Whitney performed The Star-Spangled Banner at the Super Bowl. Her rendition became legendary. Many consider it the greatest national anthem performance ever recorded. The performance further cemented her status as one of the greatest vocalists of all time. Yet her biggest success was still ahead. In 1992, Whitney starred opposite Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard. The film became a worldwide sensation, but it was the soundtrack that made history. Whitney's version of I Will Always Love You became one of the best-selling singles of all time. The song topped charts around the world. Her voice reached new audiences. The soundtrack sold millions upon millions of copies. At her peak, Whitney Houston wasn't simply a singer. She was one of the most famous women on earth. But the success brought unimaginable pressure. Photographers followed her everywhere. The media scrutinized her personal life relentlessly. As the years passed, rumors about substance abuse began to surface. Whitney consistently denied many of the reports, but concern among fans continued to grow. In 1992, Whitney married singer Bobby Brown. Their relationship quickly became one of the most talked about celebrity marriages in America. The couple's relationship was passionate, chaotic, and frequently surrounded by controversy. Over time, reports of drug use, Public arguments and legal troubles dominated headlines. Whitney's once flawless public image began to change. Fans noticed troubling signs. The woman once known for vocal perfection seemed increasingly overwhelmed. Throughout the 2000s, Whitney attempted multiple comebacks. Fans hoped she could reclaim the career she once dominated. Yet addiction remained a powerful enemy. The years of substance abuse had affected both her health and her voice. Still, Whitney continued fighting. On February 11, 2012, Whitney Houston was staying at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in California. She was preparing to attend a pre-Grammy Awards event later that evening. But when members of her team checked on her, they made a heartbreaking discovery. Whitney Houston had died in her hotel room. The news shocked the world. Tributes poured in from fellow musicians, actors, world leaders, and millions of fans. Later investigations concluded that she had accidentally drowned in a bathtub, with heart disease and cocaine use listed as contributing factors. The music industry had lost one of its greatest voices. More than a decade after her death, Whitney Houston remains one of the most influential singers in music history. Her vocal style inspired countless artists, including singers who would later dominate the charts themselves. Her records continue to sell, her songs continue to be played, and her performances continue to amaze new generations of listeners. She achieved extraordinary success. She inspired millions. And despite the tragedy that marked her final years, her music remains timeless. Whitney Houston's story is one of talent, triumph, struggle, and legacy. A reminder that even the brightest stars can face battles hidden from public view. If you like this type of content, please remember to subscribe for more stories like this.